20-sided meals.
You get the machine that seals the Mylar.
You call me and I will let you borrow it because I happen to have one in my garage. It's about $200 if you want to buy it yourself. The church sells it, and they sell the bags. And call me.
You can buy them through the distribution center.
This is going to be a beautiful sign up. It is through the distribution center that you can get them. It's their Mylar bag sealers. If you go to the Bishop's Storehouse, it's the sealer that's over, like they have all the can sealers and then they have this little extra place over here. That's what this sealer is. I went through, picked a bunch of them that I liked, tried it. It's good. It's not, so what I put in here is exactly what they say on here. So we're going to pick one. And I would love to tell you what I said, but I had what I brought with me, but I told the boys, go pick something. So I'm not sure which one they picked. This is Spanish noodle and beef casserole mix. Let's pretend this is, oh, this is ham hock stew. This is really good. Ham hock stew is really good. I can tell you what goes in ham hock stew. Ham hock stew is navy beans, pinto beans, onions, carrots, celery, salt, pepper, beef bouillon, oregano, thyme, and ham TVP.
These are all freeze-dried items.
These are all freeze-dried items. So, like you said, we have all this food storage underneath. So all these number 10 tins. I'm going to be good. I'm going to buy my year's supply. I'm going to buy freeze-dried celery. Freeze-dried celery. I have freeze-dried celery now. And so you tuck it away, because I have it now, right? So you put it away underneath the bed, because number 10 tins fit under the bunk bed really nicely. So you just kind of fill it up. Freeze-dried celery. I got lots of. First of all, we thought that 4 cans of freeze-dried celery would be enough. We used it all and had to buy more. So freeze-dried celery does not go as far as we thought. Freeze-dried shortening does. 6 cans of that, I can't think what I'm going to use enough because every recipe I know says use a teaspoon. So I'm thinking of my 6 cans of freeze-dried shortening, I have enough. I'm going to make shortbread cookies. I'm going to be selling a lot. How we managed to get them in these. We took the little bags, and like I said, we took a big bag, sliced it in half with a paper cutter, sealed both of them, so now we have 2 bags this side that are open on the top. This fits just perfectly in one of the bowls in my kitchen. So it sat like this. And we just assembly lined. One person was on the beans, one person was on the noodles, one person was on spices, one person was on carrots, one person was on celery, one person, and everybody just took their pre-measured scoop. You got, you know, your big bowl full of beans and your 1 cup measure. Every container gets 1 cup, and in they went. You just put 1 cup in each one, and each person did it. We did in about 2 hours. We did 40 meals of 3 different types. The 40 meals comprised 3 different types of meals, so we changed. It's fun to do, and I know that there's this. But the proof is always in the pudding.
What's the estimated shelf life of that soup now in that bag?
But everything in here was shelf life for 20 years. Everything we put into it was shelf life for 20 years.
Right. All of the 10, number 10 tins are all 20-year short shelf life stuff. So I'm guessing because we took it out and resealed it with the oxygen absorber, so at least 15.
There are 2 kinds of cookbooks. There's this lovely cookbook. It's by somebody who runs a big restaurant and makes cute pizza. These are the kind you open up and you read them. Look at the beautiful pictures of the food and the nice recipes, and ooh, I can make it just like that famous chef. And these are the kind of cookbooks that I like to read through, that I like to read like a book. You know, ooh, and it says you can do this, and oh, and it looks, and it says that they went here and they learned this recipe in Paris and they did this, and it's kind of a fun cookbook. But when I say get my cookbook, my kids go and get this ugly little book. This is the new Cooking with Home Storage by Vicki Tate. It's about 16 bucks. You can buy it at almost any bookstore. Barnes & Noble wants you to special order it. They usually only keep a copy or 2. Deseret Books and Ensign Books usually have it on the shelf all the time, 3 or 4 or 5 copies. This is filled with, it does have some things in it. Occasionally they say, you know, soups are one of the most typical mainstays. It kind of talks about these recipes were gathered from people who lived in Mentai, who lived in that part of Utah, who remember the Indians coming up on Grandpa's barbed wire and jerking all their venison on the little spikes on, and it's written in here. It's like when you're drying meat, you know, one of my favorite recipes in here falls under Grandma's home remedy. It's bear fat salve. Bear fat salve. Find a bear, asking for a cup of his fat. But after that, once you get past the point, it's like, okay, we live in these days and we don't have a lot of bears who are willing to give up fat. But it tells you how to make it. It tells you how to make, you know, what do you do for leg cramps? How to make bath-to-bath deodorant. You refer to it as shower to shower. It comes in a nice blue and it's really pretty. This has a recipe for it. A recipe to make your own. Has a recipe for emergency baby formulas, household cleaners, flea powders, lots of survival things, which birds and bugs you can eat, which ones you can't, which ones are very poisonous. But I also spend a lot of time in my cookbooks. You can tell the ones I like. The honey whole wheat brownies gets a lot of play and is a little splashy when you mix it at first. I've remembered now, move the cookbook, turn the mix around, bring the cookbook back. It talks about how to make dried beans, how to deal with dried beans, how to reconstitute. When you have those number 10 tins, somebody talked you into going to, I'm going to use the name Honeyville, and oh, we're all going to buy tomato powder. Okay, I have tomato powder. Now what do I do with it? This tells you what to do with it, how to reconstitute it, how to turn tomato powder into ketchup, which is actually really easy. A little lemon juice, a little vinegar, and you now have ketchup out of your tomato powder and not just tomato powder. Lots of substitutions. If you don't have, what can you use? What can you go to your dehydrated foods and your dried foods and pull out and use as a substitute for? I have 178 of them. Actually 177 today because I made you one. Because the proof is always in the pudding. Because, okay, yeah, sure, it's right. Okay, yeah. This, I'll let you taste it. I'll sell it to you to put in your car. This is that lovely rock cube. It tastes okay. It tastes like apple cinnamon crumb cookies, like cookies that just went a little too long on the counter. It has nutrition in it. It has many more vitamins than cookies that went a little long on your counter. But I'm not going to invite you to my house and go, it is a time of horrible disaster. Come to my house and have some gross, crumbly stuff. I'm going to tell you to come to my house and have soup. And it's not just soup. It's not like a little water and a little, I mean, I'll take a picture of it at home. But it's not just soup. It's hearty. It's a full-bodied, real food. I can't bake bread. So I have a friend who I said, I'll make the soup, you make the bread. And she went, that sounds great. I said, I'll even give you the wheat to make the bread. I'll grind the wheat to make the bread. I'll make the soup, you make the bread. I have the yeast, I have the everything, I don't have the talent. That's what my goal is. And that's what I learned from this book. That's what I learned from going and opening up those number 10 tins. And sometimes you open stuff up and you go, I would never eat that. Dehydrated pudding. Nastiest stuff in the world. But guess what? The number 10 tin from Smart and Final of chocolate pudding will last 4 years. I checked. It'll last 4 years. And when you open it up, oh, darn, I don't have a whole bunch of corn I won't eat. It's chocolate pudding. Pretty much everybody will help you with chocolate pudding.